fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
Don't you think that Dune 3, Villeneuve's final entry, is perfect? Plus, Chani won't be Paul's concubine in Dune 3. Dune 2's ending sees Chani leaving Paul behind after he accepts his role as Messiah. There's so much more to discuss about Dune 3, like how Princess Irulan's plot will change without Chani. In Dune Messiah, Irulan thwarts Chani's attempts to become pregnant, among other intriguing plot points. So let's dive into what we know about Dune 3 so you don't need to hustle anymore. Let's get into it, shall we? Dune Part 3, currently aiming for a 2026 release, seems to be the perfect endpoint for director Denis Villeneuve's take on the Dune saga. When Villeneuve first announced he would adapt Frank Herbert's iconic novel, fans were buzzing with excitement. The success of the first film and the rave reviews for the 2024 follow-up Dune Part 2 have only amplified the anticipation for a third installment. However, this raises the question of when and how the film series should wrap up to provide a satisfying conclusion. The Dune series spans over 20 novels, though Herbert himself penned the first 6, starting with Dune in 1965. This expansive universe makes it challenging to capture the entire lore in a few films. Nevertheless, Villeneuve has a clear vision. He used Dune Part 2 to set the stage for Dune 3, which is expected to adapt Dune Messiah. Given the themes and storyline of Messiah, it serves as an ideal conclusion to the story. Legendary has already confirmed that work on the Part 3 script is underway, and it's only a matter of time before Warner Bros. Officially greenlights the project. Villeneuve is keen to bring his trilogy to a satisfying close, and with the overwhelmingly positive reception of Dune Part 2, it seems likely that WB will soon give the go-ahead. With the script development progressing, the final chapter of Villeneuve's Dune vision is on the horizon, poised to bring Paul Atreides' journey to a fitting end. That said, let's delve into how Dune 3 will diverge from the book after Villeneuve's Part 2 adaptations. While Dune Messiah takes place 12 years after the initial Dune novel, many of the cast members from the first 2 films are expected to return for Part 3. Timothée Chalamet will reprise his role as Paul Atreides to conclude his compelling character arc, alongside Zendaya as his Freeman love, Chani. Florence Pugh's Princess Irulan will also be crucial, as her emotional journey in the third book significantly impacts the narrative. Anya Taylor-Joy's surprise appearance as Alia in Dune Part 2 introduced her as a vision from the future, despite Alia being a mere infant in the original story's timeline. This portrayal poses challenges for Dune 3, where Alia plays a pivotal role as a tween with the consciousness of an adult. It remains uncertain if Taylor-Joy will continue in this role given the complexities involved. Dune Part 3 will continue exploring themes of blind faith, which are central to the Dune saga. By this point in Dune Messiah, Paul Atreides has ascended from Messiah-like figure to Emperor of the known universe. His rule sparks religious fervor among his followers, particularly the Fremen, who advocate for a war that threatens billions of lives. Paul must navigate his newfound power, using his ancestral memories and visions to forestall humanity's destruction while evading assassination attempts from resentful royal houses. Princess Irulan, Paul's consort, plays a crucial role in maintaining his authority, yet she opposes him, particularly in matters concerning Chani's potential to bear Paul's heir. This conflict underscores the deeper tensions within Paul's reign and the fragile alliances that sustain it. One critical element Dune 3 must introduce is the Spacing Guild. Unlike the books, where the Guild plays a pivotal role in political and economic structures, Villeneuve opted to omit their detailed introduction in his cinematic adaptation. The Spacing Guild, also known as the Guild of Navigators, controls interstellar travel and banking and plays a crucial role in thwarting the plans of the Bene Gesserit and Paul's ascension to power. In Dune Messiah, the Guild aligns with other factions to challenge Paul's rule, particularly through characters like Guild Navigator Edric, who possesses abilities that shield him from Paul's visions. While Dune 3 can rectify this omission by properly introducing the Spacing Guild, it will not have the same extensive background and influence as depicted in Herbert's novels. Nonetheless, integrating the Guild into the narrative will enrich the cinematic universe and expand on the intricate political dynamics established in the preceding films. As we mentioned earlier, Chani won't continue as Paul's concubine in Dune 3, diverging significantly from the original story where she stands by Paul despite his transformation into the Fremen Messiah. In Villeneuve's adaptation, Dune Part 2 concludes with Chani leaving Paul because she cannot accept his choice to drink the water of life and embrace his prophesied role. This departure contrasts with Herbert's narrative, where Chani supports Paul even as he ascends to the Emperor's throne. In the books, Paul marries Princess Irulan for political reasons while maintaining his relationship with Chani as his concubine, with hopes of conceiving children together. Given this departure, Princess Irulan's plot in Dune 3 will inevitably change as well. In Dune Messiah, Irulan remains aligned with the Bene Gesserit, collaborating with Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohiam to thwart Chani's attempts to conceive children with Paul. Irulan secretly administers contraceptives to Chani to prevent her from bearing Paul's heirs, driven by her commitment to the Bene Gesserit's breeding program and her desire to secure her position within Paul's empire. Despite Paul's awareness of Irulan's actions, his prescient visions hint at Chani's tragic fate in childbirth. Moving forward, it remains unclear how Villeneuve and his team will navigate the crucial dynamics between Paul and Chani in Dune 3. With Chani's departure and Irulan's altered role, the adaptation is poised to explore new dimensions of intrigue and power dynamics within the Dune universe. While Irulan will continue as to be key player aligned with the Bene Gesserit, her methods and motivations may shift in Villeneuve's interpretation. The inclusion of Lady Margot Fenring's subplot in Dune Part 2, where she manipulates Feyd-Rautha Harkonnen, suggests that the Bene Gesserit's machinations for their bloodline could take unexpected turns in this cinematic universe. In addition to altering Paul and Chani's relationship dynamics, Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2 strategically omits the birth of their first son, Leto II, to streamline the narrative and avoid unnecessary complexities. While this decision ensures a focused storyline, it also opens up possibilities for Dune 3 to handle Chani's fate differently. Traditionally, in Dune Messiah, Chani's attempts to counter Irulan's interference with a Fremen fertility regimen are unsuccessful, leading to her weakened state during pregnancy and eventual death in childbirth. This tragedy leaves Paul with twins, Leto and Ganima, who inherit his ancestral memories. However, Dune 3 may diverge from this path, potentially allowing Chani to survive and give birth to Paul's children under different circumstances. Moreover, Dune 2 cleverly introduces Alia Atreides, Paul's younger sister, who is born with full Reverend Mother abilities through glimpses in Paul's visions. This approach sets the stage for Alia's pivotal role in the future of the franchise. Yet the canonical 12-year gap between Dune and Dune Messiah may not be strictly adhered to in Dune 3, which could affect the ages of characters like Alia and Paul. Furthermore, Villeneuve's adaptation already shifts certain plot points, such as Paul's decision to kill Baron Harkonnen instead of Alia in Dune 2, which diverges from the original novel. This change may influence Alia's character arc moving forward, especially considering her significant role as regent for Paul's children in Dune 3. Navigating these narrative choices will be crucial for Villeneuve as he continues to shape his vision of Dune's expansive universe. Balancing character arcs, thematic consistency, and audience expectations will be key as Dune 3 moves closer to production and eventual release. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching. What do you think about the changes Denis Villeneuve is making to Chani's storyline in Dune 3? How do you think these changes will affect Paul's character arc? Your thoughts and suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.